One of the toughest challenges for an athlete is knowing when to step away from the game and figuring out what comes next. For Mandi Cwynar, that decision always included teaching and coaching. Now she's the athletic director at Rochester Area High School, the only female athletic director in the Times coverage area, and one of just a handful in the WPIAL. This is her story.
Story on this wine?
Yeah. Don't say anything bad about me, Cam.
I think it's new, and I think it's uncommon. Sometimes when I introduce myself, you're kind of, oh, okay, and but I felt very welcome, especially with the athletic directors within Beaver County, in our meetings, and also, in the WPIAL. It is interesting when you kind of look at the crowd and you realize, hey, at these meetings I might be the only woman at the meeting, or there might be a handful of them, but I think when we all have a common goal, which is to help student athletes and to help students.
This is one part of the 9 team members that are going to Hershey for Bocce for the States.
Are you going?
Oh, I'm going.
All right, sweet.
Are you going?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. You're not. Yeah, you have to go.
Well, I've been involved in sports pretty much my entire life, and I grew up playing sports. Played through high school and college, and then with the injury, it was tough because you kind of knew that you were limited and you were kind of at the end of the road to begin with. You could feel sorry for yourself, and I probably, did it, and then it came to a point where I think my coaches and my parents were kind of like, well, what are you going to do to help the team? What can you do to support them? Because I think that's probably when my coaching career started.
But I probably will try to meet with a couple students. I'm going to check in with our head principal, Mr. Damon.
Ever since then, I've been involved. I worked with our athletic director at New Brighton, where I was a teacher. From an early age, my mom, she was an elementary teacher, and so I was always around teachers in school, and I think that had a lot to do with my career choice, always being there, but also kind of having those positive experiences and seeing the influence you can have as a teacher, and so I also think the influences of having, some pretty important coaches in my life, and kind of seeing the effects that they had on me and other students, and how powerful that was, and kind of, hoping that maybe one day you could kind of also play that role in somebody else's life. This past summer there was an opening at Rochester School District, and so I put my application in. It was July 11th when I was hired as the assistant principal. A few weeks later I was hired as the athletic director.
So perfect. All right, thanks. All right, thanks, bye.
And your phone.
That's good. That's good.
If I hit someone in the face, man,
Oh, that's okay. They'll be okay.
As an administrator, a principal within the school, but also the athletic director, all the students so far, the school year that I've worked with have been, just really good at and welcoming and respectful, that they might look at me as more as, the principal or the athletic director rather than maybe, a woman in that position.
Towels never stop. What would you like to do, sir?
It may be a little different now. I think growing up when I was an athlete, that was kind of when a lot of females were getting into coaching. And so now, it's not uncommon to see very many female coaches. They're everywhere. I think that now the transition maybe into the administrative side is kind of what the next step is. Always growing up, it was, you have goals in life, you want to achieve them, how are you going to get there? And nothing should stop and get in your way, and if it does, how are you going to get around it? And so you can be what you want to be, and that's an important thing that maybe in the past you may have had dreams and you may have had goals, but now things are achievable, and some of those roadblocks might be a little easier to overcome.